For nearly a decade, I was caught in an endless cycle. Each year would begin with a burst of energy and ambition, grand goals and dreams, only to have forgotten about them 3 months later. Ultimately, time and time again, I would end the year in exactly the same place that I had started. But last year, I decided to try a completely new approach to setting goals. I used evidence-based strategies, implemented advice from some of the best experts on the subject, and analyzed case studies on what works and what is simply a waste of time. And by the end of the year, I had hit every single goal. So as I plan my goals for this year, I wanted to walk you through exactly what this new approach is and how you can set goals that you will actually achieve. The first thing you want to do is attach a "so that I can" to the goal. Let's take the goal of reading more. A vague statement like "I want to read more" is not very helpful because A, it's not specific, so you wouldn't really know where to start or what to do to achieve it. And secondly, it's not connected to a reason. And that has a huge impact on the motivational element of it. Let's change that goal around and redefine it to "I want to read 30 non-fiction books by the end of this year so that I can increase my knowledge and be able to talk to others about various topics." Now, not only have you made it specific, so you know exactly what to do and what you're working towards, but you've also attached a personal meaning to it. It makes you so much more motivated and inclined to work on that goal. The same goes for money. Rather than thinking, "I want to make more money," how about writing down, "I want to generate 10K in passive income by December so that I can look to retire early and spend more time doing things I love. Or so that I don't need to worry about how much the bill is going to be when I'm out with my friends or if I'm on holiday." By doing this, you've created a personal connection to it. Once you've thought about a specific goal and attached a meaning to it, the first thing you want to do is write it down. And research shows that there is a correlation between writing down your goal and earning more. In 1979, Harvard MBA graduates, they were asked about their goal-setting habits, and the different approach that graduates took had a huge impact on how much they earned later on in their life. So 84% had no specific goals, 13% had goals, but they hadn't written them down, and only 3% had both written down the goals and had a plan to achieve them. 10 years later, those same people were surveyed again. So the 13% who had goals, even though they hadn't written them down, they were earning on average twice as much as the 84% who had no goals at all. But most impressively, the 3% who had written down their goals and had come up with a clear action plan on how they're going to achieve them were earning more than the combined income of the other 97%. So this clearly illustrates the importance of writing your goals down. But to take it one step further, another study that was done in 2015 by Dr. Gail Matthews to test the findings from the Harvard study confirmed two things. Firstly, that the same results, if you write your goals down, you're likely to earn more and achieve those goals. But the second thing that that study found is that by adding another step into your goal setting process, it increases the chance of success even further. I'll come on to what that extra step is in just a second. But first, aim to take 2 to 3 big goals you have and write them down. You don't want any more than 3 goals. Any more than that, and they are just a distraction. And remember, these goals are things that you'll be working on top of the everyday things that you have going on in your life. So keep it small and keep it focused. Then you want to take those big 1-year goals and restructure them with deadlines. So to explain this a bit further, there is something in psychology called delayed discounting. This is that people tend to value immediate rewards more than future rewards, even if the future reward is a lot bigger. This is why you scroll through social media rather than working on a side hustle. This is why you crave in and eat chocolate instead of choosing a healthy salad. Well, I do. When you apply this concept to 1-year goals, you can see why it's incredibly challenging to stay motivated when you're working with a time frame that is so far in the distance. There's virtually zero incentive. So the aim then is to break that goal up and bring parts of it forward. So for instance, instead of saying, "I'll save 5,000 by the end of the year," what about having the goal, "I'll save 500 by the end of this month"? The former is easy to put off because it doesn't seem urgent. But the latter is a lot more immediate, so you want to take action straight away. According to the book, The 12-Week Year, the author recommends breaking down your 1-year goal into a 12-week plan. So the idea is to think of the 12 weeks as a year. So now if 12 weeks represent a year, every week now represents a month, and every day represents a week. When you think of it like this, you think about how important every day is to hit your goals. This 12-week plan, it's proven to be the perfect sweet spot, which is long enough to see progress and make any changes, but short enough to create a sense of urgency. So if your goal this year is to make 10K in passive income, break this down into what you need to achieve in the next 12 weeks to feel like you're on track. Maybe it's, okay, I'm going to buy one rental investment property in the next 12 weeks. 12 weeks. That shorter time frame makes the goal feel immediate and it makes you want to take action straight away. I first read the 12-week year 2 years ago when I started changing my approach to goal setting, and I wanted to refresh my memory and take away the key bits again. And I did that through reading the summary on Shortform, who are very kindly sponsoring this video. Shortform is an incredible web app for reading in-depth book summaries. So it provides a one-pager summary for each book, and then it also gives you super detailed chapter summaries as well. And the thing that I love most about Shortform is that when it gives you a summary for a book, it also includes snippets from other books and other articles that provides evidence either supporting what the author is saying or challenging it and making you think from a different perspective. Shortform has also introduced a new AI feature, so you can download the extension to your browser, and at a click of a button, it will give you a summary of any video, any blog, any article that you come across, and then will also give you recommended books to further your learning on that topic. It's such a good way to enhance your learning on any topic within minutes. If you want to check it out, you could do it totally for free using the link in the description. And then if you do enjoy it and want to go ahead with a full subscription, you can also get 20% off using the link shortform.com/Nischa. By now, you have a compelling vision and a plan. Most people think that this is enough. They sit back and they wait for everything to happen to them and for the universe to give them their vision. But the universe only responds to what you do, not what you think about. That's where KPI tracking comes in. Think of KPIs as outputs. So bringing back the goal you had of buying one investment property in the next 12 weeks, what are the KPIs that you can use to inevitably hit that goal? It can be, I'm going to drive around my local neighborhood every day this week to see what is coming available in the area. It could be, I'm going to visit 10 houses this week and put in at least 3 offers. It could be, I'm going to call 5 estate agents and build relationships or go for a coffee with them and find out what's coming up in the pipeline. By doing this and outlining the actions you're going to take every single week, it will inevitably lead you to your goal. It's the KPIs you want to spend your time focusing on, not on your goal. The best bit about using this 12-week plan guideline is that it compresses what you would have achieved in a year into 3 months. And then you have the chance to change the path every 3 months instead of wasting a whole year on something that doesn't work out. For example, if your one property goal doesn't pan out in the first 12 weeks and you think this actually doesn't put me on the right track, then you can spend the next 3 weeks focusing on something else that will move you closer to the 1-year goal. There's one final thing that has proved to take your goal setting process even further. In the 2015 study by Dr. Gail Matthews, 267 participants were divided into 5 groups. So the first 3 groups were the same as the one in the Harvard study I spoke about earlier. The first group had no goal. The second group had a goal but no plan to achieve it. And the third group had a written goal with a plan. He also introduced 2 more groups into this. The fourth group had the goals with the plan and sent these to a supportive friend. And then the fifth group had the goals with the plan and sent these to a supportive friend together with the weekly progress reports. And results show that the fifth group, who did everything and also had a friend to hold them accountable, accomplished so much more than all of the other groups. So the way I apply this, I have a whiteboard in my office, and at the top, I write down my main goal for the year and the why that's attached to it. Below, I'll have my 12-week goal. And then below that, I have what I'm going to do every single week to get me closer to that 12-week goal. So I have a list of the actions that I'm going to take that week and then tick them off as I go through it. And then at the end of every week, so every Friday, I'll sit down with someone in my team and we go through that list. I tell them what I've ticked off and what I haven't and why I haven't. For me, there's something that doesn't feel good when you go to someone else and you say, yeah, I didn't achieve my goals because I was lazy. I wasn't feeling motivated. I couldn't be bothered. So even if I have to work all day, all night on Thursday, I won't show up on Friday not having everything ticked off for that week. So that is how I'm setting my goals for this year. If you like this video, you may also enjoy another video that I have on here on habits that have made me more productive and make me stay focused to hit the goals that I've set out for myself. I'll link it over here and I hope to see you there.